I think I join everybody here in saying that even when she speaks, it sounds like she's singing. What a pleasure, what a delight. Just like the introduction said, I think, Shreya ji, you've been the life, the love, the laughter, the longing in many of our soundtracks. I think I know your Hindi songs are, of course, known to everybody, but we are many of us here fans of your Tamil songs, many of us fans of your Telugu, your Malayalam songs. I mean, I think there are people from every part of India here who've been listening to you in multiple ways. But I'm going to start by asking you a question you didn't expect me to ask.
Firstly, let me be just very clear. I'm a little nervous sitting next to such a stalwart himself. So I hope that you keep it very like fun and trivial.
Totally. Which is why we decided that today's conversation is entirely about Coldplay. We are not planning to talk about.
That's right.
So, Coldplay, I thought I'll start with that.
What? You're serious about that?
So, we all saw you enjoying that concert very much. And so, it was great to listen to this. So, one question I thought I'll start with is to say, which are the non Indian artists that you like listening to a lot?
Not too many.
Okay.
Not too many. I'm hardcore desi. But there are few that have been a part of my growing up, and these artists, some of them are great vocalists, some of them are great bands. I mean, who cannot be enamored by, who is that one person who cannot be enamored by, say, a Michael Jackson or Coldplay is from our times, like we are millennials.
Your times, not mine.
Okay, fine. So that's why he's being like, let's talk about Coldplay, no? And then you'll be comfortable then. But yeah, I think Adele in today's times. So these are amongst the pop, figures. So there are lots of them, but I would say my love is more for Indian music. It has always been. I'm tilted towards Indian classical music, folk music, of course, Bollywood. Then, when my time started, I started singing in Tamil industry, Telugu industry. That's where I got to know more about the amazing world of music here that's how I think my tilt is always more Indian. I feel India is the best. I would always say that. It's
Well
the
done.
most culturally rich place where there's so many kinds of music. I mean, the kind of music you are doing and promoting. I mean, there is so much. But yeah, Coldplay is cool too. I mean, I won't say that it's. I had a great time going to their concert recently.
We saw you enjoying it, and we enjoyed it by watching you enjoying it. So let's turn to Indian classical music, because that's been your basic, your grounding, right? Could you talk to us a little bit about your growing up with that as a base? What was that like?
So my journey has been such that I never got a guru with whom I could learn extensively for a very long time. But I think music has it's such a borderless form. Like when it starts, even when I was a kid, when it started pulling me towards the beauty of the ragas and the mithas and the sweetness, the emotions that you started feeling, and they were probably, I didn't even know, ki, acha, this is that rag or this is that song which has influences of that raga, but it just started happening slowly, slowly, and I got my mom who started teaching me because she saw some interest and some talent, and then we found a guru. So I have grown up in a place in Rajasthan. I'm a Bengali girl, but I have grown up in a remote place in Rajasthan because my dad is a scientist. So we were in a government colony of only scientists, and academics was the only thing that was considered a norm, or there to have a community of music lovers was something very, rare and difficult. But wahan pe bhi there was one Guruji who's just traveled from somewhere and started teaching a little bit in our school, and then we started there for a year. I learned from him. Then moved I started traveling to a nearest city, which is Kota. Found a Guruji there, learned a little bit from him. So this is how I've learned from gurus, samne baith ke. But I think I have listened more, and that has taught me, and that's how I started falling in love with what our music is all about.
It was you singing Manamandira to your child, I think, and that's not one of your songs, which is why I thought I'll talk about that.
No, I just was. I love Shankar Mahadevanji. Anything that he does has always fascinated, and I find him as one of the most supreme musicians, a complete artist. Anyway, that song is so beautiful, and it was not planned. It was just a Diwali day. We were just decorating the house, and something was playing the whole day. I think this song was playing around, and I saw him very excitedly looking, because everything is now television. So there was a YouTube thing with it. So he kept on asking for it to be played again. In his, like, he's barely 1 year old. So I saw that he's interested towards that music. That made me feel good. Oh, chalo, isko to acha taste hai. Before the world of music that will open to him soon. Jab tak hai acha kuch, let's give him good music. So I was just humming
That
that
was
day.
beautiful. So I believe there's something fantastic coming up for Chennai's music lovers on the 1st of March, and that's part of this grand tour that's happening. And for those of you who haven't already, please go and make sure that you tell everybody that you know. And she's going to be performing live in concert at YMCA on the 1st of March. So anything special that we can look forward to in that particular concert?
So I have a long history with Chennai, a long association with this place. So many recordings, so many beautiful songs for over 20 years. Is as long as my Hindi film career, Tamil started right parallelly. And I have so many beautiful songs, so many wonderful association with this industry, the composers that I've worked with. And so I'm really looking forward to performing in Chennai, because 2 years ago I came here, performed, and I received a lot of love, and I feel very blessed that there are such genuine music lovers and fans here who are not here for FOMO, fear of missing out. Oh, there is something fun happening, so I should be there. They are there for the love of music. That's what Chennai, stands a little different from the rest of the country or the world. There are just pure music lovers, and there are so many usually musicians and singers in my audience when I come here. So the last concert, I, I, I felt like I sang everything, but there was all a little bit like unfinished. Like I have to come back and do something, and I kept getting a lot of messages from fans. So since we started our All Hearts tour, and I don't know how many cities we have already covered, it's nearing 50. And we had to include Chennai in this, because in this one we have really scaled up. We have done so much musically, and it's an experience also, like not just audio experience, it's a visually very beautifully curated experience. So we wanted to do it in Chennai. So I'm so excited, and I hope that all of you come on the 1st of March. And I will be doing all my hits, Hindi and Tamil. And I would be very happy if you request something. I will definitely include it in the set list, because there is some time still. It's 1st of March.
Wow. Okay. We will send you as many WhatsApps as we can. By the way, for her, for saying this, the word Tamil as Tamil, can I have a special round of applause? while they're setting up, this is one question I wanted to ask you about your own, that moment for you when you won the talent hunt, and I believe you were 14. That happened.
Okay, you're talking about Saregama, I'm
Saregama.
sure. I came in Saregama multiple times. Once as a 10-year-old, once as 11-year-old, 13-year-old, and 14-year-old. It started early. I was a kid.
And that moment which transformed things for you, right? So I'm just trying to take you back to that moment. And then I think Sanjay ji had you sing for his film. How was that as a 14, 15-year-old? Because one of the conversations that many of us are having is, child prodigies. And when you're young and, that much of recognition and fame comes your way. How did that feel like for you? How was that experience? How, when you look back?
I think I was very unaware of what is happening, and it is still not sunk in. No, I think also one big advantage for me is my family is very grounded, and they are very. They always kept my mind in the right order. What you should be thinking, what you should be prioritizing in life, and for me, every moment that has happened in my life, I've only felt gratitude and nothing else. So. It was very easy for me to be in a journey like this. I never felt overwhelmed ever because everything is transient and everything is in the moment, and I'm just enjoying what I'm getting. And most of what I'm getting is love and knowledge and getting to be in company of the greats.
I mean, you are seeing so much of brilliant children emerging. You are all the shows that you are judging, for example, and we see so many of them are. I mean, I'll use this term. They're ridiculously talented, right? I mean, their size is like there's itni choti, and the singing like
An ustad.
and but there's also, this is a different zamana, right? There's so much of social media, so much of exposure happening to them. Do you think it's a good thing that these children are getting that much fame that early at a time when social media is creating so many problems for that kind of exposure? What is your sense for that? And many of them, I mean, it's also happening that many of them are famous for that season, and then uske baad we don't know what's going on,
Yeah, I would say there is a lot of truth to it, but we try to, apart from just being the judge on that day, there's a little bit more extended mentorship we try to continue giving them. Apart from just being a musician, it is very important to be in the right mindset. And I can only tell what I have done and in my life and what worked and what works, and how to stay happy and not just chase success, just be in this journey because it's never going to be like even if you get one, everyone is chasing that one film song, right? Just one big song. Even if you get that one big song, it's not like the end of it. Iske baad aapko mehnat nahi karni hai. There's hard work. There is a constant need to keep learning, reinventing. It is never ending. So as a panelist there, as a jury or judge, I tried to tell them through whatever I have understood about this life. Uh, but it's also up to them and the families. So it's not about just the child. It's always about the mother and the father. If they're around, they need to tell their kids to not get so anxious about uh,
fame
being
that
popular.
fame.
Yeah, it's a music is such a spiritual journey. It's not just about today, tomorrow. I need to be a pop star. I need to be famous, make a lot of money. The moment anyone has ever done that, they have actually faced failure.
Yeah.
So that is the only learning, and we try to tell them through our words. And it is a tough journey.
It is.
There are ocean of great musicians, ocean of great talent. How do you shine from that?
And the related question before I go into my rapid fire with you is, and Instagram, for example, or any of these social media platforms, you're seeing all these people putting up reels, right? And they're putting up reels of your songs, they're putting up reels of what. And some of it sounds nice. We don't know whether it's authentic or they've used some kind of autotune or something or Melodyne to do it. And what is happening, and this is a lot of, trained musicians, people who've been in that journey, are also beginning to feel very disheartened, disillusioned, ki kya ho raha hai, right? So, would you agree that music is it's a journey? It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't start and end with that one performance, one award or whatever. So, what is your take on that? How do you, when people talk to you about this young musicians, especially, what's the advice you give them?
I agree. There is a lot of confusion at this moment amongst the aspiring musicians, singers, and anybody who is pursuing music with so much love. In fact, when we see that there are such wonderful performers in our show itself, our worry is also that actually the songs that are finally being loved by a lot of people are sung by actually very inferior, raw, not very trained. It may not be very essential, but
Right.
not great musicians. They're not there, but still there is a lot of hype. So, but should that discourage a person to learn and be good at what they love doing? I don't think so. But what kind of happens after a point is the moment that glory is for one song, but the moment you have created a fan base and they love you for that one song or one big moment of your life and they want to hear you live, पोल खुल जाती है.
Correct. I agree.
So I think there should be that one fear somewhere in any artist that, okay, one day when I am there on stage and when I am loved by so many people, I should not be disappointing them when I am there on, that's why performance is a very different art. And Instagram, autotune, Melodyne, there are so many new applications with softwares which do that job for you. That can take care of that one moment for your life, but what about the rest of the
Absolutely.
journey?
So, ma'am, your experience of working with the one and only AR sir.
Rehman sir, God, divine, not just for his music, the person that he is, the aura that he has, the way he works. There's always something to learn from him. Of course, when I sang first time in his studio in Panchatan and met him, I was a little starstruck, and I continue to be that. It's never easy to be a little casual in front of him. He tries to be all cool nowadays. He's God level, so he has that impact on all of us. But I feel his music has impacted generations, and it will continue to, because he has he's a direct, I feel he's got a direct Wi-Fi connection with the Almighty.
6G.
Yeah, some special data
Special
plan he has.
Absolutely.
This is such an important song. This is Rahman sir's composition. Any song that is composed by him is divine, and not just beautiful, it's divine. Let's end on that note. That's the perfect adjective. And this also got my 5th national award recently. For this song I got it, and I feel very honored. It's a very beautiful film, very different film. A lot of such first song with each of these composers. Then my world opened to a beautiful set of people. See, Devdas was a world. Sanjay Leela Bhansali ji. Working with him is like a master class every time. Then the team of music director like Ismail Darbarji, all his assistants, all the best of the live musicians we recorded. I just shot an episode of Idol with Kavita Krishnamurti ji yesterday, and we were just remembering how wonderful that time was. We were recording these songs together, standing next to each other, recording Dola Re Dola, and these moments will never come back. You know, times are changing so fast, and to sing with the stalwarts like that. So Devdas was one of those times. Then came the world of Vidhu Vinod Chopra, and I met Shantanu Moitra, the composer of that film, and we continued to do many songs together. So Piu Bole is one of the first songs that we did. Yaha was another film which I did for Shujit Sarkarji and Shantanu. So Piu Bole was a beautiful experience because that opened a very different storytelling, a very different kind of narrative, a way of working. Music was much more organic and more rooted in folk. And Piu Bole has a little Ravindra Shangit's influence also. So it was trying to mimic the time of Bengal of that era. So hence the influence. And Pradeep Sarkarji, who was the director of the film. So I remember he taught me those expressions, you know, like "Piyu boli," this hasi. It was not natural for me to just laugh in a song. It still it took practice to get such you know very pronounced expressions in songs. It was tough because I was very young and I didn't understand what is expression. So I was slowly understanding this bhav kitna important hota hai gaane mein. It's not just about sur and voice quality. There is also expression because it's for cinema. That actress has to lip sync it. And then Vidya Balan's debut happened, and we did not know who Vidya Balan is, how wonderful she is as an actress, and how perfect it suited the situation, her lip sync, her enactment of that song. Pradeep Sarkarji used to sit in a corner, keep making sketches of each frame of how that song or the film is going to look. He would sketch with his hand, with a pencil, every frame of that film and sit and just ideate and come and keep saying, "Ki, Shreya, can you do this little? I want a giggle. There's a flirty moment, there's a love, it's very young. So these things I learned. And every film has taught me a lot of things. And yeah, Shantanuda's the bonding with him, the friendship, the kind of music we've done together is loved by a lot of people. Yeah.
Hi Shreya, your
Hi.
journey with our maestro Ilaiyaraaja, and what is your favorite song of his?
Hey, please sing it.
Everything, please sing it.
Raja says so many great songs, but my working with him also has been such a special time of my life. Just recording songs for him, I've learned a lot. I have recorded songs like this. He's sitting here, I'm recording on the mic. Can you see? What a blessing and what a privilege that I've had. So, one of the songs that I absolutely loved recording for him, and I think it's one of the very first songs that I did, which was for the Virumandi, that film. So, Ilaiyaraaja sir के बारे में बात करने के लिए I don't have words. That is what happens when you talk about a maestro like him. Such phenomena happen in thousands of years, I think. You know, there is only one Ilaiyaraaja sir, and nobody can touch. He's miles ahead. The way he works, oh my God, you have seen him work. I have seen him work in his Prasad studio little room where he sits and does his music. He comes up with a tune along with the arrangement of the whole song to the bass line. He writes the whole song in one go within 5 to 10 minutes. A whole composition is ready. He can imagine every piano bit to what the flute is going to play, to the guitar notes, to the bass line, how the voice should sound, the lines, the lyrics. Sometimes he has a lot of contribution to even his lyrics, and it happens within just like that. He's one on. in millions, one in a millennial.
Your entire musical journey that you've gone through in the past years, is there any particular musical composer that has had a great impact on you? And if so, can you share a recording experience with any legendary musical composer? The other question I have for you is, what do you do on a daily basis to maintain this magical voice of yours? Is there any routine you follow? Because all of us have these hoarse throats and hoarse voices. Is there anything you follow to maintain your beautiful voice?
I won't have a right answer for that, but I'll try. Firstly, working with legendary composers, and I've worked with many. So many of them have had a phenomenal influence on my understanding of music. I'm enamored by many of them. Meaning, I have even had the chance to work with the legendary Lakshmikant Pyarelal-ji's Pyarelal uncle. I've recorded with him. So I got a glimpse of how these legends would have worked with, Lata ji and Asha ji, and what was their style of working. I got a little first-hand experience as well, and it was incredible. The knowledge, the way they guide how आपको गाना कैसे है, and then it translates and makes a song so much bigger than what I would have originally thought or interpreted. Like that, Rahman sir has been a big influence. With him recording, usually initial days, he would only record in the night. Probably you're waiting the whole day. Like I've taken the flight from Mumbai.
3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Yeah, it's everything starts post 2 a.m. in the morning. By then, there is no noise outside in the world. Panchatan studio, that vibe, beautiful. He would just start a candle, light a candle, and get into his creative mode. And one of those experiences was probably Aro Male from, VT, Vineta Andi Varuvaya. Oh, that was one of the most divine. I had tears. Like, I did not know where time went, and I didn't want to stop it. And he has so many ideas. He lets you flow through a process. He was playing with me. I was just jamming. That didn't have a structure. That song didn't have a structure. It was just me doing alaps. And Barsuri was also that experience where the song, how it was made to finally how it came out, was so different. So he is a very intuitive, impulsive, collaborative composer who figures out in a short time what the capability and potential of a singer or any musician is, and takes the best out of that person. So I've seen these things. Raja sir, my God, I mean the list is endless. And Sanjay Leela Bhansali ji as a composer as well, not just as a director. His insight about what a song should be, how the song should be sung, and why it should be sung like this is so deep that more you work with him, you more grow. In one day, you grow 10 years in knowledge, and I mean, you cannot do enough crash courses or workshops or master classes or do Berkeley classes to know and learn these things. So I'm very fortunate to have worked with these legends and maestros. What was the next question?
The other question was about how do you maintain your voice?
My voice. I don't maintain my voice. I just have. I like to be happy. I think happiness is something very important, and many of you may have always seen me eating charts. There are days when I have demanded I want to have a pani puri before going on the stage. तो वो जो है ना कि खट्टा नहीं खाती होगी, बर्फ नहीं पीती होगी, ये सब मेरे केस में लागू ही नहीं होता है. I feel if your heart is happy, your mind is pure and it's at peace, you do your best, whether it's vocals, singing, or whatever you do. I try to be happy.